Hey everyone, welcome to the MatMadik cast channel. Thank you very much for coming back while I was on hiatus. New camera is coming, it's practically on its way on a plane. And in the meantime, let's just get back into the swing of things so when the transition happens, there are no more breaks. Shout out to Shannon Garcia for recommending me Terrorist by, excuse me, Mesus. Boy, I tend to ramble a lot, so I'm going to try my best to keep this nice and short and sweet. Um, what have you got here? Oh, I think for my flow from now on, 3 videos a day, I'm going to do one gaming video reaction, from a gamer like DJ Slope or so on, or gaming historian, one political rap video, and one just plain bit of music to just do my three a day. Without further ado, let's check out Mesus, American Terrorist. When a government labels its law-abiding citizens as terrorists, it reveals very clearly who the real terrorists are. Mesus. That so sounds like him. Anyway, but yeah, medical tyranny.
If you're white, then you're a racist. If you're black, then you're oppressed. If you're an Indian, Asian, Hispanic, don't matter your lives and getting oppressed. If you're a cop, you're just a killer, and everyone knows you should be defunded. That way when shots ring out of blocks, the shooters will know no one is coming.
Ooh, nice summary, eh? It's very much a Tom McDonald opening, right in the forefront. This dude's a vanguard of the um the fight for justice and patriotic sense sensibility. Um, it's funny. I mean, I do personally feel that the whole society as a whole right now is being heralded with some overarching narrative, whether it be to just keep everybody running to the right with all the craziness that the left are for some reason doing on purpose to get everybody to embrace conservativeness. Maybe people will agree to something of a one party system in that regard because of all of this. Or maybe there truly is a fight going on where people just have to rely on themselves and say, look, you can defund the police whether you want to or not, but you're not touching my Second Amendment, you know what I'm saying? Because indeed, as you've already experience has shown us, we have to rely on ourselves. And thank God, I believe it's Mississippi now that has teachers that are armed. As long as we rely on ourselves, we don't have to worry about being herded like cattle so much. And for that matter, I think on that front, I mean, so on one hand, maybe we're being heralded. Sorry, maybe we're being ushered to the right with left-wing self-sabotage. On the other hand, maybe this whole experience is just teaching us to fend for ourselves and just forget this whole thing of party tribalism and so on, and just think for ourselves. What do you think? Let's keep going.
Say that you're straight, I bet you hate gays. And all of that hate is cause you're afraid. And not cause you're sick of it shoved in your face while they celebrate with pornographic parades. And if you love God, well then you hate science. Even though both yous are living with faith. Either have faith that God made the world in 6 days, or the universe did with a bang.
We're the bane. Nice little thing that the algorithm misheard there. It actually works. Or is it trying to suggest that we are indeed terroristic? You are the terrorist, YouTube. Anyway, I think you made a good point right there. Whether you're part of the Church of Science ology, the cult on the left, if you will, or you're part of the good old-fashioned uh, church that is very popular on the right, you're following faith. Again, following on my theory about maybe everyone's being driven to the right with this strange series of events that that are plaguing society at the moment, be it these bizarre so-called pride parades. Um, on that vein, even when Trump was saying people go and get your shot, and people saying, "Oh," it would make people wonder that very thing: are we being played here? Is he on our side, and so on and so forth? I personally think that he's losing a battle and winning a war. It's like we all have to do sometimes. If we don't have the humility to do that, we'll just self-sabotage. And I've been there, so I want everybody to just see the big picture. But that being said, um, yeah, there's definitely a, a tribe on both sides in that regard, and we're two sides of the same coin. It's not, but the funniest thing is, people on the right are not actually extreme, generally speaking. We just want to be left alone. But when you get somebody who's trying to come into someone else's space and tell them they can't do what they're doing because they think that they're a threat to them, even when it's provable that they're not, then that person, that imposing person, is the one being a terrorist. That's my take on it. What do you think? Let's keep going.
I am so sick of these labels. I am so sick of celebrities pushing agendas whenever I'm flipping through cable.
Yeah, my God. I didn't see Christina Aguilera's bizarre costume choice, but they say never meet your heroes, eh? I gotta tell you. In the past 2 years, boy, how many of these heroes of ours have fallen from grace? Whether it be Mr. Jackie Chan supporting the CCP's crackdown on Hong Kong. Um, and I always love Jackie because he's such a legend. I grew up watching this stuff, but that did get me to back off a little bit. Whether it be the Mulan movie that got people worked up over a little thank you credit at the end of the movie. Um, whether it be Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, whether it be Brad Pitt wearing a skirt as of late, whether it be fill in the blank, right now everybody's getting the curtains pulled off them, and we're seeing agendas right before our eyes, and we're saying to ourselves, we don't want anything to do with this. So, keep your eyes open, people. But like I always say, beware, there may just very well be an agenda afoot to make people artificially take issue with somebody just so that they can get a reaction out of them that they want, out of you that they want. So ultimately, think for yourself. Anyway, let's keep going.
If you're a liberal, then you're gonna say that.
Another reason I say that is because look at Johnny Depp and even Dave Chappelle, Mr. Unmasked with the Mayor at one point. But no, that was Kash Patel's grapping of him on Fox that he said the other day. No, let me take another one. Look at Johnny Depp, Mr. fantasizing about, or jokingly fantasizing apparently, about the President 45 being assassinated. All of a sudden, a hero on the right for, all of a sudden a hero on the right for taking Amber Heard to court. What about all the stuff he said about Trump? I thought you guys, and people on the right, I thought he was stricken off the list. All I'm trying to say is that reacting, even though this is a reaction channel, reacting to something just off the tail end of something that they've done is often done to manipulate you. Getting you to react in that way, often trying to manipulate you, maybe even unknowingly, into following a greater agenda. So just think for yourself. That's all I say. There's nothing wrong with having a reaction. That's normal. That's human. But beware. Go beyond reacting and respond. Go beyond responding and write your narrative that you want to follow. Anyway, let's keep going.
That I suck and cry while I tell you the truth. And if you're conservative, every day you pray to Trump and smile with only one tooth. And if you're Republican, you hate colored skin and love KKK. And if you ain't Democrat, well then you ain't black. But if you're conservative, every day you pray to Trump and smile with only one tooth. And if you're Republican, you hate colored skin and love KKK. And if you ain't Democrat, well then you ain't black. But if Joe said it's okay, if you wear a mask, then you're a hero. Even though the fact is it does zero. Ain't an expert, or you doubt me? Don't talk to me, talk to Fauci.
Nice. I mean, I've had my video that I put up on this matter taken down twice and been put in YouTube jail 2 weeks, each time. And, when I finally got paid off YouTube, then YouTube said I didn't put my tax information down properly, which I'm pretty sure I did. Anyway, if that's on me, it's on me. So I only got a fraction of what I'd earned, which was under $100 for that month, so that wasn't fun. But I got a feeling just like what you're saying right here. If we were to adhere to these nonsensical narratives and just play along, things may just be okay, KK. But when you're triggering people for just putting out these messages again and again, it's an uphill struggle. But for that matter, Mesus, don't claim this video, please, for gosh sakes. Give a brother a helping hand. Come on, man. Anyway, enough.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. And often, there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face. Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. Let me be clear. You will not.
Okay. And going back to David Icke for a moment, I guess he is right when it came to saying it's the people who are slaves to the system who actually fighting their neighbor on the deep state's behalf, saying you should put a mask on. You're actually keeping this thing going. But sadly to say, those people are suffering the consequences the worst. And I've got a feeling they're losing energy after a while, once they've exhausted themselves. And unfortunately, those that they put it on who I didn't have a chance to say no thank you, those who had the strength to stand up against this seem to be able to carry society back to a point of recovery.
Vaccinate me, gotta pray for the sheep who can't see they deceive. What they sense of the truth, just more proof we ain't free. Thinking that we still are is the conspiracy. Man, they treat us like slaves. Not over here cause we used to be brave. I say used to be cause the new school generation full of cowards. Boy, I said what I said, and if you don't like it, then fight me, boy. You should be fighting for something. Y'all so brainwashed by your Nikes, boy. Tell you just do it, you still won't do nothing. We all online talking with.
Oh man, here's me saying, Mesus, please don't claim this video, but I guess I'll say my welcome. But sorry, just to reiterate something I said a while ago about David Icke saying there's no COVID-19. The overall, the funniest thing is after all said and done, even though, as David Icke probably admit himself, if you were to ask him or press him on the matter with his staunch views on certain things, that they could indeed, the deep state indeed could fashion something, throw it out there for it to show up on these PCR tests that weren't working in the first place, and probably still not working now in terms of accuracy, but that would definitely register on the PCR saying that you have the stuff, and not to mention those who've taken the stuff in their arms in the first place. Yeah, they're very likely to get positive readings as time goes by, but hey. After all said and done, this whole thing could still probably be proven to have been much ado about nothing in the first place. It's really, I think it's really sad that people have allowed themselves to be the catalyst to create their own demise. So imagine telling somebody there's something out there that can destroy you, and the only way to survive it is to ingest this strange chemical I've got for you. But that has been proven to injure people going forward. Hey, it very well may be the destroyer of people that I claimed the initial and unconfirmed worry was in the first place was going to do to people. And when you try and bring that up to people, you just get shushed. So it's a pretty tough experience to just be on this forefront. And like I say, this dude is a powerhouse. He's a vanguard of this battlefront, if you will. But sometimes you've got to lose a few battles to win the overall war. But yeah, man, keep it banging.
Still won't do nothing, I'm drawing the line, gotta kill me, no bluffing. You think that I'm doing this way more than music, I'm forming a movement. Enough is enough, man, it's time to unite for the American flag. Stop all these fights by who white, brown, or black. Cause if we don't fight to get America back, pretty soon we won't have no America left. Pathetic, our president can't finish sentences. Should be locked up doing sentences. Cause last time I checked, I thought that was a crime. You say you ain't stealing, you left out your mind. The left is so blind, Lord, how many signs? You gotta keep sending us under your times. Hell got so high.
And the thing is, we can all rant and scream about this, and like I keep saying about losing the battle, is that sometimes this whole thing about being worked up and understandably outraged to want to at least air your grievances about this. There are people who've been screaming about this stuff all over the world in unheard cages, man. I mean, indeed, you think you got it bad in the West because of this, or even around the world because of this mass business. The people wailing in towers in Wuhan, or the people who are pushed into forced marriages, or people who are in certain farms, as the livestock in certain parts of the world in the East. And anyway, um, yes, but those people, just like we would seem to be crying for naught if we want to just express our grievances that way in a given moment, and only to be crushed by the actual terrorists you're talking about, Mesus. But sometimes you just gotta bear it. Put these songs out there, but be strategic. It's not enough to just be like Mr. Hyke and say, I'm not gonna comply. It's not enough just not comply, because if you just simply don't comply and you stick to your one side, you're a sitting duck. You've got to be clever and outfox them. But yo, Mesus, I'm sure you're a clever dude and you're doing other things other than this song. But this song is definitely helping spread the awareness. It's a bit like meme culture, but keep it going.
Under the ocean of fire, the devil's the cat, but you know he alive. Rather die than retreat, I will never retire. I'm built for the heat, I run straight to the fire. When you're telling the truth, then you get crucified. But the truth is a lie, so I ain't scared to die. Man, look in my eye, you think this is music? I got a voice and I'm finna use it. I don't follow money, I follow God. Y'all making music, I'm making movements. Do this the truest, don't play the games that you play. You say screw my freedom, don't screw what you say. You call me a terrorist, cause I am West. When the government's the ones who act like Hussein. It's getting insane, this is so much more than music, boy. Boy, I got a voice God gave me and I'm gonna use it, boy. Use it, boy. I don't make music, homie, I'm making a movement, boy. Movement, boy. So get with the movement or move it, dog. I said move it, boy. Move. So how about we chill with all of these labels?
Excellent. You're talking about labels. I haven't checked out Tom McDonald's names video yet. I'm gonna check it out. Music or movement. This, in my opinion, this is music. This is what music is supposed to be. This is, if you want to know, guys, how to rap and you haven't rapped before, this is what rapping is. You got to be a part of a movement. And I don't just mean taking up for someone else. I mean, you gotta be the movement itself. This is the Me's movement, if you will. Tyson, you've got the Tyson movement. Lowe's has got the Lowe's movement. Tom's got the Tom movement. You are the movement. Your raps are your own theme music, if you will. Your anthems. That's what makes a rapper relevant in society. When you're saying something that actually has impact, people hear it and it's a call to action or something. Not call to actually go and to do some ridiculous harm to anybody. This is a antisocial, and the whole point of this is to build social bridges, not to destroy society. But when you have weight to your words, like Mesus does here, then you're rapping, and people know you're serious about what you're saying. It's got all the wit, it's got all the punchlines and everything, but you've got weight to your words. When you got that, then you're rapping. But yo, a rapper, just another label, so it seems. That's why I guess he wants to transcend the label, hence being independent.
I am just me and you are just you. Stop judging books by covers they have and make love the way that we all introduce. And how about we chill with all of these labels? I am just me and you are just you. Stop judging books by covers they have and make love the way that we all introduce.
God. Mesus, man. You're probably gonna claim this video, so thanks for nothing. But in any case, keep going, mate. This is the kind of stuff we need to keep hearing all the way to 2024 and beyond, of course. God bless you all. Where we go one, we go all. Ciao, Shannon Garcia. Peace.